This morning, we have a first look at the season opener of 60 Minutes, starting its 57th year this Sunday night, with a report on what's been called the most dangerous conflict no one is talking about, the rising tensions between China and the Philippines over disputed waters in the South China Sea. China's military is taking forceful steps, aggressive steps, to confront Filipino forces, and there is the potential for the U.S. military to be pulled in as an ally of the Philippines. 60 Minutes correspondent Cecilia Vega got a first-hand look at how dangerous this conflict could become.
Kasok 134, Kasok 134.
When we boarded the Philippine Coast Guard ship Cape Engano last month,
All ahead. All ahead.
it was supposed to be for a routine mission resupplying ships and stations in the South China Sea. But in the middle of our first night, sirens raged. Crew members rushed between decks.
It's 4 a.m. We've all been sound asleep. This alarm just went on the ship. We were told to wake up and put our life jackets on because we've just been rammed by a Chinese boat.
There was confusion, fear. Our team was told to stay inside the cabin for safety. It was unclear if we would take on water or if the Chinese would try to force their way on board. Philippine crew members prepared for that possibility and stood by the hatch holding clubs in case they had to fend off the Chinese. This cell phone video taken by the Filipinos shows the moment just after impact. The Chinese Coast Guard ship, 269 feet long and nearly twice the size of the Cape Engano, jammed into the Philippines' starboard quarter, the rear right side of the ship. When the Chinese pulled away, the Filipinos found a 3.5-foot hole. An officer told us we were lucky the damage was above the waterline.
Wow. Cecilia Vega joins us now. Quite the international incident you found yourself in the middle of.
Smack in the middle of it. And we didn't know. We were just saying, there's conflict has been going on and it's been getting worse over the last couple of years. But what we ended up witnessing was a first. This has never happened this close to Philippine shore, and so it caught everybody off guard.
Well, right now you look so calm and you sound so calm and at peace. But I'm thinking it's early in the morning, you're trying to figure out what the hell is happening here. It sounds terrifying to me just listening to you.
It really was, Gail. I mean, the team and I were sound asleep, 4 a.m, first night at sea, and when I tell you we felt this impact, didn't know what it was. The first place my mind went to, I thought we maybe hit a ship or hit a rock or something like that, and then to sort of stumble out of bed and to see the Filipinos racing, and that moment where they started grabbing clubs in case they were going to have to go hand to hand with the Chinese if they boarded.
Wow.
It was unclear if the ship might take on water. We're in the middle of this South China Sea, in the middle of nowhere. Unclear if the Chinese would board. We were lucky it didn't, but you could see there it was a pretty terrifying.
Why did the Chinese Coast Guard ram the ship?
These waters have been contested, though, very clearly by an international tribunal. These waters have been declared Filipinos' zone. The Filipinos were very much in their economic zone in this, but China has historically claimed so much, an overwhelming majority of the South China Sea. Frankly, they want more, and they want to declare their territory, and the Filipinos are standing up to them. So hence this conflict is getting worse.
So simply to send a message.
They're sending a message, and it's a lot of intimidation is what's happening.
We're going to be talking to the Secretary of Defense, U.S. Secretary of Defense, later today. I mean, the U.S. could become involved because if the Philippines goes to war with China, we're the ally of the Philippines.
You're nailing it. That is exactly the reason that this is so particularly concerning to people in Washington, which this incident that we witnessed ended up, the White House had to get involved. They had to call, they talked to Manila, and they put a message out to Beijing saying, dial back the temperature out there, because ultimately what could happen, the U.S. is bound by treaty to get involved if there is an armed attack on the Philippines from this treaty that goes back years. And no one wants a clash of world power, superpowers, which is what it would end up being between China and the U.S. out there. So this is a really important issue. The world has been so much focused on China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
The issue that's heating up much more so right now is China and the Philippines, and that U.S. and potential involvement is a really dangerous.
We'll get more in your piece, but they just rammed you and then retreated.
Yeah. No. Well, when the sun came up, Gail, and we went to the top deck, we could see for the first time we were surrounded by 14 Chinese ships.
14.
Fully surrounded, and there was a standoff, and it's unclear whether we could leave or not after
Wow.
that. So there's your tease.
Yeah,
There's
to
your
watch
tease.
Sunday.
That's when
Yeah.
you say, I'm
50
hell
60
of a team.
minutes.
I'm 60.
This is your second season or third season?
I'm going on my third now.
Going on your
Yeah.
third season and your first international incident.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's what happens at 60 minutes.
go you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cecilia
Thanks, guys.
Vega, thank you very much. You can
Good
watch
tease.
Cecilia's full report this Sunday on the season premiere of 60 Minutes.